So I am actually back in Sweden from Egypt. I was in Egypt for approximately 1 week, I think, and I visited the pyramids. So I wanted to share some stuff that I have sort of been reflecting on regarding the pyramids, because I thought I would do more like a, like, what should I call this? I don't know, spiritual type of video, whatever you want to call it, because it's not only going to be solid facts in here, it's going to be my experience going to the pyramids and what I sort of picked up going there. So I will start off before I went to Egypt. So as some of you who are like, I don't know, interested in different civilizations and stuff, you probably are aware that the Mayan calendar ended 2012, and there was a new kind of, I don't know, shift into some new calendar stuff in relation to how the stars and things are aligned in the universe. So it is approximately, because it's now 2019, so since 2012 up until today, it is approximately, 7 years ago, something in that direction at least. And before I went to Egypt, the night before I was going there, I dreamt about a lady who was having, and I'm just going to share my experience, So I dreamt about a lady who had she had like a hat that was approximately like this high, and it was just like flat, and it was white, and she had like some white dress. And she was like telling me stuff about going to Egypt and all types of things. And then obviously when I was in Egypt, I wasn't thinking about all the pyramids or anything, because I was hanging out with friends, and I was staying in some friend's house, and we were having a good time doing different things, all types of things. I was on a wedding. It was the day before the wedding, which was like closer to the end of my stay in Egypt. That's when I first time went to Mena House, which is a 5-star hotel resort located next to the Pyramid of Giza. And I stayed there for the rest of my stay in Egypt, and I went on the wedding. The following day we had dinner at Mena House the day before the wedding, so the first evening. And I would say that, because I was trying to feel in how is the energy and stuff, and I would say that you felt like the pyramids, you sort of, I don't know, felt like this type of circular energy. I don't know, if you would drop something in the water, or like draw something up from the water, you would get these rings on the water. That's how it felt in the entire, entire ground or whatever around the pyramids, at least from my perspective. And then, so we had dinner there, and then we were staying up all night, almost, and we were like out by the pool area. We had some wine, we were dancing, doing a lot of things. Following morning, it was the wedding day. I got up early, did a workout, was by the pool area, hanged out in the suite where the bride and the wedding couple was going to, where they were staying, and where we, like, bridesmaids and family members and stuff, were getting ready. And we had this amazing view of the pyramids. We took a lot of photos. I'm going to try and put my Instagram account in the box to this video, because I'm going to post a lot of photos from this Egypt trip over there, and I have quite nice photos. And then we had the whole wedding, which was in a garden, really nice, next to the pyramids, like inside of the hotel area. So we had like 2 of the pyramids, the Pyramid of Giza and the second pyramid, they were like visible to the area. And then, so that became kind of a late night again. I think I went to sleep after like around maybe 3 a.m. or something. And then the following morning, me and one of the bridesmaids, we went to the pyramids, to the area of the pyramids. So that was the first time I actually went there. And I did not know, you know, we did not take a tourist guide. And obviously I've been reading about the pyramids and this, you know, like what they were built for or how they were built. And I've been reading about that. But I haven't read anything necessarily about like the ancient Egyptians. I haven't really read, you know, I don't know that much about, honestly, the pyramids. And I don't even think that there is anyone today who knows exactly everything, you know. But anyway, we went to the area and we were walking around the Pyramid of Giza, which was amazing. I mean, the blocks to the pyramid was like humongous. They were like really tall and like kind of wide, and also they had these like, it was like, if you can see my hand like this, it was like these like in type of things in the entire rock, or in the rocks. And I think it seemed like it could have been water or something, like, you know, making those holes or something, you know. And also people throughout the time in history had like written love notes on the stones, so they had like been carving out their names and stuff on the rock entire around the whole thing. So we were walking there. We didn't walk to so this was in the Pyramid of Giza. There's another pyramid. We walked, we didn't go all the way to that pyramid in the first run. Also there was a cemetery, and I said to this bridesmaid that I had with me, I was like, I'm not gonna go to a cemetery because we don't know what we will get from there, you know. I don't want to have any spirits or, you know, something coming after us. So we went to the other side, like, you know, to the opposite side. So we were standing between the two corners of both of those pyramids. We were like in some form of center or something, you know. And we had this big swirling wind, like with dust and stuff, you know, this swirling type of wind it came like down from the road, because there's like a road next to the second pyramid, and it came like down on the road, and it kept on swirling out into the desert where there was camels and donkeys and horses and stuff. And it swirled by the Sphinx or Sphinx or whatever, it swirled by there as well. So that was like a huge, you know, that. And there was, I think we had a second one as well coming by there. And that's kind of typical, you know, this can happen, you know, but it was still kind of, I'm just sharing my experience, you know, that's what happened when we were there. Also, I noticed there was quite a lot of clouds always like circulating above, you know, that pyramid, the Giza pyramid, and it looked always really nice because, you know, you have this humongous structure and then you have these cloud formations going right above the top of that pyramid. And then we walked by the Sphinx, and I mean, I don't know, that's the first thing I sort of felt when we were there. I was like, I don't really think this is a lion, you know, I don't know. I asked the bridesmaid who I was with, I was like, she's American, so I was like, do you really think, I was like, is this the face in this Sphinx, do you think it's like a human face? And she was like, yeah, I think so. But for some reason it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't fit into the same timeline, you know. I don't think the entire Sphinx as it is today has been like constructed exactly as it is currently, you know. And obviously I don't have any proof of this, it's just my own opinion here. I think it possibly had been reshaped by different people or something, because there was, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense, this whole thing, you know. And then we were walking out of the area, and then when we came back to the hotel, the rest of the bride and the groom, like the people who got married and their family, they were like, okay, we're gonna go to the pyramids. And we were like, okay, we just came from there, but let's go again. So second time we went to the pyramid in one day. We had this guy who is police in Cairo with us, and we had a little bit of a you know, we could walk in some areas, you know, we got to some kind of nice places. And it was just really good, and that was in the afternoon. So in that time, we went inside of a pyramid, and it was not the one that is the Giza pyramid, it was the second pyramid. And I was the one who went. They were like, okay, let's go in. So I was the one walking first inside of the pyramid. I didn't think I would have liked to stand there in the entrance and just taking in this whole experience, like feeling in the energy and stuff, but I was just, okay, I'm just gonna run down those stairs and whatever. And that was like, it was exhausting, you know, because it's so many, you have to sort of climb, and it's not so tall, the spaces inside the pyramid, but they are really like straight walls, that it's really hard to actually get in there. You have to sort of, you know, your back need to be folded, and it's like, I don't know how many, it's super far. If you think about some, I don't know, train station with these you know, escalators that are really tall, it just go on forever. That's sort of how it was inside of the pyramid. But we got into some different spaces inside of the pyramid, and there was, I also noticed there was some hole into the ceiling, and you could not possibly go there. You would have to have something to climb yourself up with, so obviously we didn't go there. But we got into some spaces inside of the pyramid where it was like tall, really tall in the roof, you know. And there was, when you were inside of the pyramid, you had like this really isolated situation, you know. You are like, you cannot make whatever sound is outside, you're not going to hear it necessarily inside, and also whatever sound you make inside, it's not going to hear outside, because it is an isolated environment, you know. And it's really cool to experience that, you know, because you don't get that, you know, like if you are, you know, in any house or whatever, you will always hear some sounds. But it wasn't quiet inside of the pyramid, it was like this vibration, you know, constantly something vibrating inside of the pyramid. And I tried to make this I was like doing these sounds inside of the pyramid. Obviously the group I was with, they were like, okay, so you are that person who you know, who have like crystals and yoga and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, that's me, but I want to test this thing out, you know. So I was like doing these sounds there, and the entire structure of that, it was just like resonating, you know. And I'm assuming the sound goes through the pyramid and into all these places, and because it just keeps on going, you know. It's nothing that is going to, you know, it's just going to bounce on the walls and continue. I'm assuming, I don't know exactly how vibration, energy, such things work, but that's just what I'm assuming. Also, there was, in one of these spaces that we went into, there was this, there had been some sarcophag, like a mummy, I don't know how to say it, sarcophag, someone had been buried, and I think it was some, you know, some pharaoh or someone, you know. And yeah, and anyway, so that was like also something that we saw, and it was very strange feeling, you know, because it's like nothing inside of the pyramids has sort of changed. I mean, there has not been any, there is nothing growing inside there, there's no like sunlight, there is no like, you know, no one has built a road, there has been no war inside of the pyramid necessarily. It has just been standing still for a very long time. So it is almost like you're stepping in. I mean, when you are inside of the pyramid, it could be whatever time outside the pyramid, as, you know, because nothing happens inside of it, you know. Obviously time passed, but it doesn't feel like that when you're inside of it. At least that's how I felt. And also it was very like, I was just thinking, who would build this, you know, why would you build something like this? And for me, from my perspective, from where I am currently in history and in time and space, you know, we don't have any of the concepts that would construct anything like that, you know. Nothing, I can't even, I feel like this is a completely different civilization. Like humans, yes, but a different civilization. They perceiving the world. They are, you know, doing different things, taking different action. They are prioritizing different things. Whatever they do, it is different, you know. And that's why things are as they are inside of the pyramid. Now, that was it. We walked out. We were walking through parts of the pyramids where we could go in. And also, it's not like you just walk in there so easily, you know. Because, as I said, potentially some of these people who has been buried inside of the pyramid, they may not were the reason for their construction, you know. The pyramids was maybe not constructed in order to bury certain people. I also heard that there potentially was some slaves buried inside of the walls, inside of the pyramid, and I don't think they built this whole construction in order to bury some slaves into the walls. So what happened when we were walking out of the pyramid? I felt I need honey, you know. I didn't tell anyone about this because I was just like, oh, okay, whatever, you know. But this whole thing about honey, it just kept on nagging, you know. I was like yesterday I was actually at 5 different countries. I was in Egypt, I was in Greece, I was in Germany, I was in Denmark, and I was in Sweden. I was in 5 countries, and the only thing I was thinking about is like, I need honey. Hands down, I need honey, you know. I mean, I just had like 2 more days in Egypt after I went into the pyramids. But I was really, I think also because I had a long, like, we had a lot of things going on and all these things. I was obviously tired, a little bit exhausted, and I think also going into, like, inside of the pyramids is going to make something with your energy in the body, you know. It's going to, because vibration and stuff, it affects the water, and it affects the structure and stuff. So I think it does make something with your body because you are approximately 70% water, 65 to 70% of water, and putting some vibration to that, it's going to create something, you know. So I definitely think that was also a reason why I felt so tired. But I had like 2 days left in Egypt, so one of those days after the pyramid day, we had dinner in the evening, and then after that it was just a pack, and then in the morning following, me and one of the bridesmaids, we took off to the airport, and then I checked into another hotel, and then I was doing some workouts, hanging by a pool, going to some different places in, like, around the area, and then the following, super early in the morning, I had to be on the airport, 5 a.m. And then I was just traveling through these 5 countries, and then I arrived, and yesterday I was kind of tired. Today I was doing some research about pyramids and trying to get done some of my assignments that I have in one of my summer courses, and doing some workouts. So what I felt, as I said, I wanted honey, you know. So yesterday it got to the point where I was walking around in this airport in Athens, like the Greek capital city, and I was just like, I need honey. I don't want any other food. I just want honey, you know. And I was like, why do I want honey? Because first and foremost, I'm a vegan, you know. I eat mainly vegan as much as I possibly can. I have never in my life liked honey, you know. It's not something I want to eat, especially not from a spoon, you know. I don't like honey, you know. And also because I'm vegan, I try to sort of stay away from it. But I definitely, after going to the pyramids, have just had a craving for honey. And I couldn't really connect why honey made any sense to the pyramids there, because where's the connection, you know? So that's something I was doing research about today, and I'm gonna share it in the second part of this video.